Snorlax woke up. It attacked in a grumpy rage. And welcome back to Pokemon Generation 1. Pretend that Snorlax said hello Winternet because, I don't know. I'm just not feeling like saying hello Winternet today. I didn't even say it in the last episode. We're gonna start going through withdrawals pretty soon, trust me. Okay. We don't need to catch this one because we did catch the one in the last episode, but I don't know. It would feel wrong to go without catching one of these things. Or, well, I guess, yeah, one of these things, but... It just didn't feel like using Rest last time. It was just holding the thread over my head, and now it's actually using it, and it's like, okay. That's annoying on a Pokemon that I'm trying to catch. Just knowing it can fully heal. Wait, Amnesia just uses the same animation as Confusion! Oh my, I didn't know that. That's actually awesome. I like that. It's resourceful. That's what that is. I keep using Body Slam as if I'm expecting it to paralyze. You can't paralyze a normal type with Body Slam. Okay, Lamp. Do you have what it takes? You do. You had an easier time catching a Snorlax than Gaster, and Gaster put it to sleep first. Okay. Lamp is meeting her full potential, finally. We can finally head south of here. And of course, there's a required trainer battle pretty much right away. Electricity is my specialty! Are you an engineer? Or are you a rocker? A rocker? This doesn't seem like the safest place to be using electric-type Pokemon. Gotta be honest. I'm gonna predict self-destruct. That's what all the Voltorbs in the last episode tried to do, so... Light Screen? Okay. That's pretty smart, actually. Unfortunately, I have Nightshade, which completely ignores that, but... That would have been a good move if I had gone for Thunderbolt, I guess, but you're a Voltorb, so... I don't think there's any world where I went for Thunderbolt instead of Nightshade. Still. It's a good move to have in Gen 1. Electrode! This early on, okay. I think my strategy's just the same. I don't know if Electrode can have any moves that are actually threatening whatsoever to Gaster yet. It could probably have Thunder Shock, but I don't think it would do that much. Do these things only know lights? Wait. Is this guy using Smart AI? The way Smart AI works is it will always go for a move that would be super effective against the target, even if the move doesn't do damage. This guy only used Light Screen that entire battle. Huh. Water conducts electricity, so you should zap C-Poke. Okay. So yeah, as I said, Smart AI isn't actually very smart. I'm the fishing guru's brother. I simply love fishing. Do you like to fish? Getting a sense of deja vu here. Yes, I do. Grand, I like your style. Take this and fish, young one. The Super Rod. We already have the final upgrade for the fishing rod. Fishing is a way of life. From the seas to rivers, go out and land the big one. I'm gonna go out and land the big one. But I'm not actually gonna spend time fishing here because we have a lot of routes to get through in this episode. We're going to start going over the encounters here because there are a lot of them. 6.5 minutes worth of them, in fact. Here we go. Firstly, now that we have the Super Rod, Tentacool. Tentacool is the Zubat of the sea, except it's actually significantly stronger than Zubat. Not only does Tentacool have a great special stat of 100 before evolving, but its evolution line are also the prime users of Wrap outside of one much stronger Pokemon we'll be seeing later. Tentacool gets good use out of any water moves, as well as the Ice Beam TM. Then to finish the moveset, Wrap and Swords Dance can combine to be a devastating combo. Tentacool evolves at level 30, and unfortunately it can only be caught at level 5 using the Super Rod here. So, while I would recommend waiting a while until you can catch it at a higher level, it's still a Pokemon worthy of a strong recommendation. Speaking of, upon evolving, Tentacruel is one of the most threatening presences in all of Generation 1's competitive scene, as long as we're talking about tiers below OU, which I usually am in these bios. A terrifying mix of a solid 100 in its speed and 120 in its special, make it not only an incredibly volatile special sweeper, but one of the scariest users of a partial trapping move in the game as well. Surf and Blizzard are both phenomenal options, along with Rest to restore its HP if you're playing without items. Tentacruel has some very punishable weaknesses, most notably its poison typing only serves to add weaknesses to its water type, like ground and psychic type moves. Keep its weaknesses in mind when using it though, and it's a nigh unstoppable killing machine. Also via the Super Rod, Krabby. Crab Hammer is one of the strongest water type moves, and Krabby gets it through level up. However, we'll be getting a stronger replacement soon through TM anyways. The main draw for Crab Hammer specifically would be its high critical hit ratio. No, the main selling points with Krabby are 1, its access to Guillotine, a one-hit KO move at the low level of 25, and its absurd attack stat of 105 before even evolving. Krabby can run Swords Dance and Body Slam to do some absurd damage, including a chance to paralyze all non-normal types, then follow up with Ice Beam or Crab Hammer depending on what it's facing. If you'd rather be funny and run a special set on Krabby, it can also learn Amnesia through trading with Generation 2. And it evolves relatively fast at only level 28 into a Pokemon with an even higher attack stat. Krabby is just all around a Pokemon who slept on way too hard just because it doesn't get good use out of the same type attack bonus. Hey, this is Gen 1. Almost nothing gets good use out of the same type attack bonus. Maybe too soon, but Venonat is essentially a better Butterfree. Bug Poison is an okay type, and Venonat usually runs Sleep Powder, Psychic, and Mega Drain just like Butterfree. Now, technically before evolving, this is much worse than Butterfree, but since Venonat evolves at the relatively low level 31, meaning not too far from where we are now, you don't need to rely on these stats for too long. If you found Butterfree was starting to fall behind, but you want a Pokemon who fills a similar role, you could do worse than Venonat. Speaking of Pokemon who are good at spreading status conditions, Gloom. Gloom is sort of a light version of Ivysaur. Its moves are fine, and it gets access to one of the only decent offensive poison moves in the game, Acid, which can be paired with Swords Dance if you absolutely need a poison move. But Gloom typically runs Stun Spore and Sleep Powder paired with Mega Drain as a damage dealing move to recover its own health, and Double Edge, which typically fills a 4th move slot on Pokemon that just don't have a better option. Gloom is extremely one-note, and overall I'd only recommend it if you just need a Pokemon to spread statuses. Even for that though, there are better options. Oh, and Vileplume is more of the same considering it doesn't learn anything new through level up after evolving. Weepinbell is horrendous! I mean, look at it! I hate this thing! But anyways, as a Pokemon, I'd argue Weepinbell is stronger than Gloom. It also gets double powders, but compare that with Wrap and Razor Leaf to devastate teams after inflicting them with status conditions. Once again, very one note, but that one note is a bit more meaningful coming from Weepinbell than it is from Gloom. And Victory Bell is sort of more of the same, but it has the option to run Hyper Beam now. You can replace Wrap with Swords Dance as well if you want to basically guarantee KOs from Hyper Beam, but overall, yeah, more of the same, just better. Ditto sucks. The novelty of being able to use Transform doesn't really stick around when it's the only move Ditto can use. Transforming does indeed copy almost everything about the opponent, except for their HP stat and critical hit rate. This means Ditto is stuck with its low HP, so no matter how bulky the target is, it won't hold up when Ditto doesn't have the HP to support it anyway. On top of that, all of Ditto's moves will be left with 5 PP, making it incredibly easy to PP stall. And Ditto's subpar speed means that it's extremely vulnerable to be knocked out before it even has a chance to transform in the first place. Ditto does have a purpose starting in Generation 2, but unfortunately, that purpose just doesn't exist as of right now. Keeping on the trend of just hopelessly bad Pokemon, Pidgeotto. Before I say anything about Pidgeotto, a correction. Whirlwind actually doesn't force opponents to switch in Generation 1, instead only ending wild encounters without the priority provided by the run button, making this line worse than I already thought it was. That being said, Pidgeotto. The strongest flying move it gets is Fly, and it's not going to be doing pretty much anything else. Unfortunately, Pidgeotto is hopelessly outclassed by quite literally every other flying-type Pokemon in the game, and that includes Butterfree. The only thing Pidgeotto can really hope is that it gets a strong counterattack off by using Mirror Move, but Its attacking stats are so weak that really doesn't matter. At level 36, it evolves into Pidgeot, which is one of my favorite designs for a Route 1 bird Pokemon in the entire series. Unfortunately, though, it's still completely outclassed by Fearow. Its better bulk means nothing in the face of a Pokemon that can learn Drill Peck. Pidgeot does get the extremely powerful Sky Attack, which charges one turn and attacks with a 140 power Flying type move on the next. Move is always super satisfying to pull off, but the turn of Charge Up leaves Pidgeot vulnerable to attack. Unfortunately, all of the moves that make Pidgeot usable have drawbacks like that, and I just can't recommend it in Generation 1. Maybe 5 generations from now. Lamp has honestly kind of been kicking ass on this route. Like, genuinely, she hasn't had any issues. She hasn't fainted at all. I forgot to go get healing items between episodes, so I thought I was gonna have to fly back to Lavender Town to buy some, like, pretty early on, but no. Lamp just hasn't been taking shit. To be fair, I've switched out a few times, but not often enough that to invalidate Lamp's efforts. She has been doing a great job on this route. And so has Haket. Haket has once again reached the status of being our highest level Pokemon. Venusaur's sprite, back sprite specifically, is so bad. I did not know where its head was until just now looking at it. I thought it was just a giant, messy bush, but no, I see its ear. I don't understand how this sprite got to be so bad. I'll cut out the rest of this battle because it's just a junior trainer using generic early game Pokemon. Ooh, I lost! My brain, like, automatically added a little bit of tinge of, like, Waluigi and that, I don't know how to feel about that. Made it to Route 13, north to Silence Bridge, which we just went down, I think, so... Is it expecting us to take this path in reverse? Because maybe I went about this in the wrong direction. Wow, your badges are too cool. Okay, so... Badges. In the anime, the badges are shown to be like pins. Ash pins them to the inside of his jacket. Or his vest, I guess, in Gen 1. But, are they pins? Because in future games, you just have a case that you keep them in. Sword and Shield, you make like a weird, like, piece of art using the badges. And then I don't even know where the badges go in Scarlet Violet. They just get pinned to a picture you take with the gym leader. But I don't know. Badges are a weirdly inconsistent thing because this game gives them like special properties. They make your Pokemon stronger, which implies they're like magical symbols. They actually do something to increase your Pokemon's strength. I don't know. Gen 1 of Pokemon is silly. There's a lot of things that are less consistent with future generations because originally they just wanted to make a silly little RPG and then it ended up becoming the largest multimedia franchise of all time. Do you want a Pokemon with me? That is extremely improper grammar, ma'am. I take it all back. Well, Lamp actually eviscerated her first Pokemon, but then got screeched into bitten by Meowth, which... yeah, that did a lot of damage. I really want to challenge myself to see how long I can go on this route without needing to go back to buy healing items, though, so we're gonna keep going. Unfortunately, Lamp just isn't in a state to one-shot anything. This Pikachu has Swift. That's actually a good move, because that can hit Annabelle while she uses Dig. They're really thinking about this. And by that I mean that's on Pikachu's Learn set, so of course it knows it because they just give Pokemon whatever they would know by the level they currently are. It's always gonna be... if you ever see a Pokemon that's owned by a character that isn't a boss, most likely their moveset is just gonna be whatever the most recent 4 moves they could know at their level is. With obvious exceptions like Blue's Gyarados knowing Hydro Pump. Or Aiden's Gyarados, I suppose, in our playthrough. This maze doesn't make sense. Who built this? Why is it here? My cute Pokemon wish to make your acquaintance. Maybe if you spoke normally, my cute Pokemon would be more interested. What are you leading with? Pidgey. It's not cute. It's just a little underwhelming when you lead into the battle the way you did. And there goes Lamp. That's fine. I have revives, I just don't have super potions. I was sort of hoping for Lamp to go down just so I could get her back at half health. I know Annabelle is the lowest level now, so I should probably switch her to the front, but I want Lamp to be in the front for pretty much until she learns her strongest move, because even then, I'm not going to evolve her yet, and, like, I want her to at least have access to that to make her usable until that point, because Ember at this point in the game really isn't usable. I already talked about it. Vulpix is going to learn Flamethrower at level 35, which is a very low level to learn that move, and it will genuinely just make her so much more usable. That sound effect is both unpleasant, but also very cool. It's like the antithesis of Screech, where it's unpleasant and very uncool. Wow, you totally won. I did, as always. Future me, don't cut back to a time when I lost, because you can't, because I haven't lost in this Let's Play yet. God, I can't stop winning. I always go with bird Pokemon. Yeah, I tried doing that once. I tried doing an Ultra Sun Nuzlocke with only bird Pokemon. Then my friend yelled at me when I chose to use Inkay, because it's based on an owl, even if it's also based on a squid. And it's more based on a squid than an owl, but come on. There's not that many bird Pokemon in Gen 7, you gotta give me a break. Holy shit! That Spearow just brought Lamp from like 40 HP to dead using Fury Attack only because of a series of misses caused by a single sand attack. That was fucked up. Lamp, I'm running low on revives too, so I only have 3 left. I don't think she's gonna faint 3 more times on this route, but like, God, I hope I don't have to, like, genuinely the ideal is I do not have to go back to Lavender Town. Trainer tips, use select to switch items in the item window. We already know that. I always forget it's not called the bag yet. I mean, it's obviously kept in the bag, but it's just called the item menu, not the bag. In future games, there's just an option in the menu called bag. Although in Generation 2, specifically, I think it's called pack. Which is funny. I don't know what I'm looking for up here. But sure, I'll take free EXP for Lamp. She's about to level up and you look like just enough EXP. Except I don't think either of those claims are correct. I can check. She's pretty close to leveling up, but not close enough that this looks like just enough EXP. She just got her ass kicked by a Bellsprout. I don't know what to tell you. 156 experience points. I revived her to let her have her chance at revenge, and it really was not worth it. Okay. I'm gonna fly back to Lavender Town to get healed up and get some healing items. I will cut ahead to when I'm back. I'm back. With the use of speed up, that wasn't really that bad. I went ahead and bought enough super potions that I have 20 and enough revives that I think I have 10. We'll be fine for the rest of this route. The wind's blowing my way! I don't know why, that just felt like a line that had to be read in a Sonic voice. That was like an instinct thing. 5 Pokemon! So many of these trainers on this route specifically have 5 Pokemon that are all just weak, pre-evolved versions of Pokemon we've already seen fully evolved. I mean, Lamp won't complain. It's pretty easy EXP for her, but jeez. Lamp grew to level 34 from beating that Spearow, and that is exciting for a reason. The wind turned! True. So Lamp is already pretty high leveled, probably our highest level, but I want to go ahead and use a rare candy. We had 4 of them in the PC, I only need 1 by the time we reach the item duplication glitch, which I will be using. I'm just gonna go ahead and get Lamp up to level 35. And she is trying to learn Flamethrower. Obviously delete a move to make room for this. Goodbye, Ember. Flamethrower is, I believe, a 95 power, 100 accuracy move with a 30% chance of causing a burn. That is a huge improvement over Ember. We aren't going to be evolving Lamp until level 42, I think, so getting that on her now is very helpful. In fact, 3 out of her 4 moves are her final move set. Yeah. She learns her best fire-type move that early. And that also gives us a chance to actually give some other Pokemon screen time for a while. What are you looking at? I don't know. Are you a biker? Yep. I kind of expected that as soon as I saw lookin' instead of looking. And hey, that's a perfect lead for Annabelle, actually. Annabelle hasn't gotten a lot of time in the spotlight lately just because, like, we just went up against a grass-type gym. Giovanni was easily dealt with by Hiket alone, and even if Hiket had fainted, my second choice would have been Umi. Annabelle has sort of not had a chance to really fight a lot lately. She's probably fought up in the corner during bios and stuff, but, like, I don't know. She hasn't gotten the spotlight that she deserves as a valuable member of this team who genuinely carried for a pretty good portion of the game because of how early you get Sand Slash right before an Electric-type gym. Level 34. Not bad. Dang! Stripped gears! I feel like bikers just shout things that don't really mean anything after they lose pretty frequently. My bird Pokemon should be ready for battle. That's good. It'd be weird of you to be standing here in the way if they weren't. Pidgey. We are on episode 24 of this Let's Play, and people are still throwing out Pidgey at level 26. This dude probably has a Pidgeotto too, so you know he's just trolling. His Pidgey, he's trolling his Pidgey. The sound effect for Rock Slide has been reminding me of something, and I think I know what it is. It reminds me of the printer that was in the school that I went to for elementary school and middle school. It's reminding me of the printer in the computer lab. That is what that sound effect reminds me of. This dude does have a Fearow. He is literally just trolling his Pidgey and Spearow by taunting them with what they could have been if he had just stopped pressing the B button. Not ready yet. Your Fearow's ready. The other two, you're just tormenting them by keeping them weak. I really don't like this fence maze. This has no reason to exist. Other than to be, like, slightly annoying. Also, my notes say to check for items in the dead ends. I don't think there's items in the dead ends. I don't know what I meant. But I'm gonna keep checking. You need to use TMs to teach good moves to Pokemon. In Fire Red Leaf Green, if he says that, he's not telling the truth, but in Red and Blue, yeah, kinda. Considering Vaporeon tried to learn Water Gun at level, like, 33, 31. Either way, way too late for that to be reasonable. I think this is my first time seeing Doduo in this game. We saw Birdkeeper using a Dodrio, but that was on Route 18, and I technically did these routes out of order because this is Route 13, 14. So, yeah. Thinks it can dodge Rock Slide. You may have succeeded once, but then you went on to use Whirlwind, which would have been a good move in any future generation, but in this generation, that was the worst move you could have made. Level 35 for Annabelle. Not good enough! Dude, you're being too mean to your Pokemon. You are the one who told that thing to use Whirlwind. Decide to switch Yumi to the front for a little bit. I don't know. Yumi's been like a good Pokemon that we've switched into a lot, but she hasn't really got a lot of like screen time as far as being the lead of the team. That's not going to be the case forever. There are going to be moments where she is genuinely just the best lead for the team, but it just hasn't been the case yet. Hello. TMs are on sale in Celadon, but only a few people have HMs. We are one of few, apparently. That's nice to hear. Oh, for some reason I thought this guy was a hiker. I don't know why, because he doesn't have the hiker sprite. But in my memory, this man is a hiker. Yumi can pretty easily handle any flying-type Pokemon with Ice Beam. Ice Beam is a really strong move to have this early in the game. To be fair, though, so are Thunderbolt and Flamethrower, and we also have those on our team, so... I mean... we're just set, pretty much. We just have a lot of good options. Ah, bummer. That was a pretty tame reaction to losing. For once. Have you taught your bird Pokemon how to fly? I have. Why? Yumi grew to level 34 from beating this guy's Fearow. Shot down in flames. Actually in ice, but close. Bird Pokemon are my true love. Route 14, west of Fuchsia City. Okay. We're just gonna ignore what that guy said, I guess. Fine with me, personally. We ride out here because there's more room. Than on Cycling Road? I guess that maybe these guys don't like the gang that's on Cycling Road, I guess. Because there's not more room here in like a literal sense, but I guess in the sense that there's less people. In that sense, there's more room. But like, Cycling Road is a pretty wide route. I say route, but it's actually 3 routes. I don't know. This is the point in the game where Kanto's routes start to get really long and weird. Like, we're going through 4 routes in this video, but it's pretty much just one long route, and the only difference is, like, the encounters change slightly. Like, I'm pretty sure we're just now getting close to the point where we can actually encounter Ditto, whose bio we just went over. Goodbye, Mach. That took a lot of hits. Wipeout! That's a game show. I almost said America's favorite game show, but that's actually the tagline of a different game show. This guy's asking if we have heard of the legendary Pokemon. I don't know if we have, but I think everybody knows who they are. Oh my god, man is asking about the legendary Pokemon and he has a Farfetch'd on his team. You love to see it. To be fair to this Farfetch'd, it did use Agility and Swords Dance, and now Swords Dance twice. That's basically 2 Dragon Dances and a Swords Dance, so... that could have been scary if it actually bothered to attack. Why? Why'd I lose? I think you gotta ask your Farfetch'd some questions, man. That is not your problem. Well, actually, yes, that is your problem. You're the one choosing to use Farfetch'd with absolutely nothing to back it up. Pokemon fight? Cool! Rumble! No, Pokemon Rumble is actually a different, worse game. Pokemon Rumble is such a funny game. I don't know if anybody who would watch this video has ever played Pokemon Rumble for the Nintendo Wii, because it's not possible to purchase legitimately anymore. But I think everybody who had a Wii and, like, access to the internet downloaded the Pokemon Rumble demo from the Wii Shop channel before realizing that it's just not that good. But I used to play that demo over and over again. And I remember one time I went to my friend Aiden's house. Not the Aiden who our rival is named after, but a different Aiden who I am also friends with. And we played through pretty much the entirety of Pokemon Rumble. And I had fun because I was playing with a friend, but I don't know, it's not the kind of game that you can just play on your own and enjoy. Perfect, I need to burn some time. Ah, this guy's waiting for a doctor's appointment. I don't know why he's waiting for his doctor's appointment on Route 14 instead of, like, in the city where his doctor is located, but hey, in a world where you can fly anywhere in a matter of seconds, why wouldn't you? What? You? What about me? Raising Pokemon is a drag, man. Why are you doing it then? Oh, the weird tree placement. Is there an item up here? I don't remember this part of this route. There's not. Weird. I always, like, I remember always that this route is laid out a little bit silly, but I never remember quite how silly. Come on, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go! I should have said come on like Captain Falcon both times. I am a blight on the Let's Playing scene for not doing so. Gastoru to level 34 for me, and this guy's third Pokemon. Didn't bother showing it because I was speeding up. We have officially made it, I believe, to Route 15, which is the final route and the shortest of these routes. There's a lot of trainers to fight down there, obviously, which we will be doing, but if we go to the very end here, eventually, TM20. I don't actually know what TM this is. My notes just say to go up here to get a TM. Rage. It's an interesting move. Every turn you use it, if you get attacked, like, while in the midst of using it, your attack stat will go up until you stop using it. It's not a bad move. It's used to sweep through a lot of teams in Generation 2 speedrunning. But this really isn't worth teaching to any of the Pokemon I'm planning on using in this LP, so I don't know. Good to pick it up because I'm trying to pick up all the TMs, but not necessarily a great move. What's cool? Trading Pokemon! True. Reminding me that I really need to get my shit together as far as completing the Pokedex goes, because I haven't actually gone out of my way to catch and evolve stuff for a while. I'm probably gonna go ahead between episodes eventually here and just evolve everything I possibly can right now and trade everything. It's just a lot. A lot of work is going into 100%ing this game, and it's a lot of work that I am too lazy to do. I said trade! That's true, so why did you battle? I trade Pokemon with my friends. I love playing Minecraft with... Okay. I believe she actually does trade Pokemon in Generation 2. At least somebody on this route does, so that's an interesting bit of continuity? I don't know if that's intended, but... hey. Who knows? If it is, that's interesting, because usually you won't just find in-game trades in the middle of, like, nowhere. I mean, obviously every in-game trade we've seen has been in the middle of nowhere, except for the one in Cerulean City and Vermilion City, I guess, but I don't know. Usually they're actually in cities or in the gates between cities. Wigglytuff, oh! I always forget just how ugh! The sprite is creepy enough without it being inverted. Oh my god. Wigglytuff is terrifying in Gen 1. And of course, all of Gaster's attacks have some inversion effect that makes the colors be inverted. So does Disable! Oh my god. I think even Hypnosis would do that too. There's no way to avoid seeing it inverted while using Gaster to fight it. Ugh. Wigglytuff is terrifying in Gen 1. They could never really get Wigglytuff to look quite right until they started using 3D models, but Gen 1 is definitely the worst victim of bad Wigglytuff sprite-itis. You look gentle, so I think I can beat you. It's not the kind of mindset you like to see. Not at all. Pikachu! Every time I see Pikachu in Gen 1, it makes me think of the way the announcer says Pikachu in Smash 64. Because he says it in such a silly way, where he puts too much emphasis on the "ka." Pikachu! Which I guess maybe he's trying to replicate the way that Ikue Otani says Pikachu in the anime, but I don't know. It's just weird. Pikachu. Caster grew to level 35, beating that Pikachu. Raichu. Okay, people are using a lot of stone evolutions on this route, I'm noticing. No, wrong! No, that's wrong. Now that that Danganronpa fan is beaten. Hey kid, come on, I just got these! Just got what? Your Pokémon? Because if so, you are in for a rude awakening. Why not? Why not what? None of these guys' quotes make sense. You only live once, so I live as an outlaw. Team Rocket rules! Huh? You can't just go and say that, man. Okay. I love you too. I will. Bye. Let this serve as a lesson, folks. Your mom always comes before your Let's Play. Fork over all your cash when you lose to me, kid! Well, way to ruin the mood. I just had a very nice call with my mom. And now I'm immediately being bugged afterwards. I think a cat just grew to level 35 from beating that last guy. Yeah, so all our main team members are level 35 now. I was not expecting everyone to get that strong from this route, but that just goes to show how, like, how useful it is to take both routes before doing the next gym battle. A cat grew to level 36 from beating this guy's Grimer. Gonna get her up to level 37 probably before I switch in a new lead. That can't be true! I was just joking about the money. At least this guy's nice about him being a dick. This guy's just a dick. He's supporting Pokemon murder. That's a crazy thing to just say. You only live once. Killing animals is sick. I guess that's a lot of Let me try out the Pokemon I just got in a trade. Oh. Apparently trading is just a thing that happens a lot on this route. Junior trainer female, what do you have? Gloom. Okay, so that is a version exclusive. Now I'm curious, would she have Weepin' Bell if you were playing Pokemon Red? I actually don't know. I doubt it. The teams that trainers on routes use typically doesn't change between versions, but it would be neat if that was the case. She had a Gloom and 2 Oddish. That would be I don't know. That would just be an awkward team to have if that wasn't a version exclusive. That's my thinking, at least. West of Fuchsia City. I used to spell Fuchsia wrong all the time, up until I was making graphics for this Let's Play. The sidebar for Fuchsia City used to say Fuchsia spelled F-U-S-C-H-I-A. But no, the CH comes before the S. That specific spelling of a word will never make sense to me. Fuchsia is spelled in a way that doesn't make sense, and I'm the only person brave enough to say it. This guy's team was easy to take out. It was a Dodrio and 2 Doduo. Just as I thought. What did you think? Did you know moves like Earthquake don't have any effect on birds? Weird ground type I guess it's the same power as Dig, but you just don't see Earthquake that commonly. But I guess his other options were Bone Meringue and Bone Club, and only Cubone and Marowak learn those. I guess he could have said Fissure too, but I don't know, Fissure doesn't affect most things unless you use an X accuracy. Yumi grew to level 36 from beating this guy's Farfetch'd. Also missed a total of like 5 or 6 times in that battle, and there's another trainer too. Wanna play with my Pokemon? I gotta be completely honest, no. I've been fighting trainers for the past 2 hours of my life. I just want to explore a city. Bellsprout. Will this be the Bellsprout equivalent of the trainer who had Oddish? I guess we will find out. We're gonna go ahead and switch into Lamp. If this lady's gonna have only grass types, Lamp is just gonna be able to sweep with Flamethrower. Especially if Sleep Powder misses. Flamethrower's animation is so bad in this game, I love it. Okay. Oddish. Okay, that's not an equivalent to the other trainer then. That feels weird, but you're already seeing how much of a difference having Flamethrower instead of Ember makes. It's such a strong move for a Pokemon as low-leveled as Lamp is. Doesn't knock out Tangela, though. I know Tangela is kind of a, like, bulky Pokemon, at least as far as unevolved Pokemon go, but that's a little disappointing. I was too impatient. I'll go train with weaker people. Good plan, good plan. Okay, in this gate, I want to head up here, where we'll meet this dude. Hi, remember me? I'm Professor Oxade. If you caught 50 kinds of Pokemon, I'm supposed to give you an EXP all. So, Winter, have you caught at least 50 kinds of Pokemon? We actually have at this point. Great, you've caught 56 kinds of Pokemon. Congratulations. Here you go. EXP all. EXP all gives EXP points to all the Pokemon with you, even if they don't fight. It does, however, reduce the amount of EXP for each Pokemon. If you don't need it, you should store it via PC. Okay. This does spread EXP among all the Pokemon in your party, but also reduces the EXP. I don't recommend this item in Generation 1. You should move it to your storage as soon as possible. It's buggy, and long story short, your Pokemon aren't really going to get all the EXP they earn using this item. And that's even counting the discount that it's supposed to give on EXP. It's a bad item. The EXP share in future generations works perfectly, but this item just doesn't. Which is a shame. What do you have to say? Are you working on a Pokédex? Professor Oxade came by here. I just talked to him, dude. Welcome back to Fuchsia City. We've already been here, but you remember that pond where there were new encounters with the Good Rod? Well, now there's a new encounter here with the Super Rod, so let's go ahead and try and reel it in. It's a bite. Let's see if it's the bite.
87?
There we go. Seeking! Let's do this. This bio is not going to be very long. Seeking is more of the same from Goldeen. It's bad. It doesn't have any stats over 92, and it can't even use that stat that well. There are better water types to have, especially now that we have access to the Super Rod. If you have to use it, just run a water move and Hyper Beam. That's the best you're gonna get. I was completely honest when I said the bio would not be very long. Went ahead and caught one, though. It's better than having to evolve Goldeen. In the autumn spawning season, they can be seen swimming powerfully up rivers and creeks. This isn't a river or a creek, so I don't know why it's here, but it is. Alright. With all that done, we've reached Fuchsia City. Again. Next time on Pokemon Generation 1, we're going to explore the city and see what there is to do, and maybe even take on our next gym battle if we have time. See you guys then.